are live now. So welcome to our day of rest. So we're going to kind of keep this relatively short because I need to rest, and so does Mani-Jade and Tanisha, who's helping us stream this bad boy. But what we're going to do is breathe. We're going to talk about and experience how we can loosen our relationship with our breath, and that by how we might loosen that relationship with our breath can actually help us feel calmer, more relaxed, even when we aren't resting. Okay. So as we are taking our prescribed rest, this is a great tool that you can use sort of come down. So if that is, it's Friday afternoon and you have to rest the next day, this is a practice that can really bring you down and prepare you for resting, which is really about release. Okay, so release is a word I'm going to use a lot. That's the spirit of this. We want to be able to really let go and allow ourselves. That's where emotions that you might be having a hard time with might come up and out. Okay, that's where your insights will come from. That's where your joy will come from, being able to release. So you want to be mindful that as we release, different things might come up, and it's your choice whether or not you want to experience a painful emotion, or if you want to not think about anything stressful. We can release however we feel we need to release. But here today, we're just going to focus on the breath. Okay. And I want you to also think about that spirit of release whenever you're resting. So if it's a full day, if it's after work, if it's just from one meeting to the next, I want you to consider the fact that you can release even if you are about to enter into another stressful situation. If you have that time, then you can practice this way. And I'll talk about ways to integrate that into your daily life as well after this, okay? So here we're going to start our breath work practice. So some call this just breathing, breath work. Others call it meditation. Really, all we need to know about what it is a way to slow down your fight, flight, freeze, and fawn system. So anything done out of fear, we can turn the volume down on that stress hormone through this practice. So all you're going to do, you can keep your eyes open or you can close them. You want to find a comfortable seat. You can lay down if you would like. You can sit on the floor. Hell, you can maybe even stand if you would like. Be standing out in nature or something like that. I like to sit in a chair myself. And all you're going to do is start to take very deep in breaths into your lungs. And as you do this, I want you to imagine your lungs inflating like balloons all the way. So step one of breath work is making your breaths fuller, really expanding the lungs. And then when your lungs are expanded, rather than pushing the air out, I just want you to let go of the in-breath. Okay, so we're breathing all the way in. And then we're just releasing. And then we breathe in again. And then release again. And the intention is to, with each breath, breathe in more air each time you breathe. Okay. And let go even more each time you release. Okay. So your fixation when we're doing breath work is just on breathing all the way in and releasing all the way out. But this next point is very important. You don't want to breathe all the way in to the point where it's uncomfortable. This is about comfort and ease. So we breathe to where it's comfortable. We let go to where it's comfortable, with the goal of just making our in-breath and our out-breath longer and fuller. The longer and fuller we breathe, the more relaxed our bodies become on the inside. The more relaxed your body becomes on the inside, the clearer your perception of reality gets. Okay? The slower your thoughts become, the more loose your body might feel. It's a nice, simple method. Breathing all the way in, all the way out. And now I want you to add another trick to this if you would like to. It can really help the body feel safe. Okay. So now this time when you breathe all the way in, as you let go of the shoulders. Let go of any tension in the face, the eyebrows, your jaw. So as we release the breath, we're also releasing tension. Okay? With each time you let go of body tension, with that out breath, with that release, I want you to sink deeper and deeper into your seat. Wherever you're sitting, or if you're lying down, or even if you're standing up, with each release of the breath and the body, I want you to sink into your relationship with the earth. I want you to feel gravity connecting you to the earth. With each out breath, we strengthen our magnetic connection to the earth. So we are literally grounding. And it's important here to focus on the breath only on the technique. The release comes with the breath, just like tightness comes with the breath. We focus on breathing all the way in. A sense of inflation, we're all the way in. And then as we release, we release into a sense of depth inside of ourselves. As we live life from a soul-centered place, we need to be deep enough inside of ourselves to be in presence with the soul. So when we're stressed, when we're afraid, as we breathe, we can sink into that contact with our true self. We have to send a message to our bodily vessel that my body is safe in this moment. It is safe. And this is something not many people get to experience, feelings of safety. And here, all we are doing is extending kindness and compassion to ourselves with this gift of breath, with this gift of intention, with this gift of grounding. And here I want you to see if you can just let go a little bit more on that next out breath. Okay, and remember, all the way in. All the way out. Release. Keep breathing this way just as you're listening. Some folks may enjoy doing this breathwork practice with incense burning. Some might enjoy breathwork practice at the same time they're using sage and burning sage. Others might like to integrate it with plant medicine. Others might hold on to stones or crystals that help ground us. Okay. Some might have chanting in the background. Okay, whatever helps you feel grounded, relaxed, that's what you want here. And here we're integrating our spirituality, if we would like, our culture. We can hold ancestors in mind. We can call on ancestors to help us rest, to help us release. Whatever it is that supports you in your practice of safety and release, that's what I want for you. And this is releasing. It's not just a once a day practice. You can practice living in a state of release. This isn't always possible, and that's okay. But as we practice breathing deeper in our breathwork practice, we can also practice breathing deeper in our everyday life. The calmer we keep our inner storm, the clearer we see ourselves, the clearer we see what we need, what we don't need. Living in a society that creates fear, we need to be as equally aggressive in our practice of creating feelings of safety. We need to counteract what society gives us, what our life situation gives us. And here, rest and relaxation, feelings of safety. It's not just one practice. And I want to challenge you to breathe deeper every single moment of every single day. Just have that intention in mind. It's the extension of compassion. When we think about someone who you care about, how would you want them to walk around every day? Would you want them to feel more relaxed? You can give that to yourself. here in this last phase, I want you to really try to let go, not just of your body, also let go of your thoughts, of your mind. See if you can find the space between one thought and another thought. Feel that sense of presence and spaciousness. Try to find your baseline. If you know what you feel like when you are safe, that can serve as a life compass. You'll now know the people and situations that make you feel safe if you know how to cultivate safety inside of yourself. For folks healing, whether that's anxiety, depression, trauma, if you can develop a ground floor of safety, now you have a standard of comparison. Especially folks who have been struggling their entire lives. We need a new frame of reference of safety. And that's exactly what breathwork was to me and many that I teach. So now just taking a few more nice full in breaths and out breaths. If your eyes were closed, you can open them, and being able to release. Your body holds things really tight, and those things don't fall out until we loosen our grip. Okay. So here, all we want to do is bring a sense of inner expansion through expanding the breath, and then our body can release a bit. You ever want to do this practice? If you maybe are feeling really overwhelmed, and you think there are a lot of difficult emotions under there, you're not really sure how you want to deal with them. Okay, so just know yourself, be careful. But in essence, this practice is all I teach in terms of fear. Okay, and any piece of insight or growth that you want in your life, you're going to have to be able to see clearly. And fear, and I'll share one of my favorite metaphors with you all, and then we'll wrap up here. It's like most of us inside of our minds, inside of our hearts, we're standing knee-high in a lake. Okay, we look down, we see our feet, we see where we stand in the present moment. We see fish, maybe swimming by. You can see it's clear. We can only see about 5-foot radius around us. Okay. Then we wonder, well, what is it that I can't see that might be coming? What if there's a crocodile that I can't see? So then I start walking around, shuffling my feet, looking for what my mind has created. And now as I do that, the bottom of the lake, the mud is coming up because I'm walking around. Okay. And as the mud comes up, now When I could see where I stood, when I could see that 5 foot radius, now I can no longer even see where I'm at. Why? Because I'm trying to find things that my mind is trying to prepare for. And by doing so, now I can't see anything. And then a crocodile gets me. But if I had just stood in my awareness, I would have seen it coming. This is the same thing in life situations. You want to create that inner space so you can see life coming at you rather than feeling like it's sweeping you up. And this is where breathwork practice can be critical, because you can do it all the time. So my challenge to you is to breathe deeper all the time, especially when you're entering into those situations where you know you'll feel stressed. Okay. And play with that a little bit. There may be some times where you're like, no, it is good for me to be a little tighter, closer to the chest right now. And other times you'll be like, man, I can like stand to relax a little bit. I'm just watching a sitcom and I'm not breathing. So play with this. And one last piece of this. Rest isn't just about the days that you are resting. Okay. Resting is also an aura, an attitude, becoming more restful. I want you to become more restful. And this is a practice that I think when we're locked into capitalism, what I'm about to say is going to sound like, what? I can't do that. But I want you to try. In your day-to-day life, okay, I want you to try in terms of making effort, okay, especially if you're really overwhelmed with work and things. I want you to put in 5% less effort, just 5. If that's too much, and you feel like you don't do it, try 2. Okay. But what you realize is that likely a lot of your overworking and perfectionistic tendencies actually aren't needed as much as you think they are. You've just always been working that way, so you don't know what it's like to release a little bit in those moments, to not, write that extra little bit on your therapy note. It's fear. It's fear. One last piece I'll give you. Before any difficult decision, okay, life decision, work decision, really anything, family, could be anything, I want you to center yourself. That could be breath work, could be journaling. Okay, like I said, it could be, crystals and whatnot. I'm hip to the game. But I want you to practice centering yourself before you go out into the world and start kicking that mud up. I think it's something we don't do often enough, and especially as Black folks, the world creates a lot of fear for us. Okay, so we need to really focus and be present and centered, in our space. But I really, really appreciate you all. Thanks for showing up with us. And Mani-Jade, thanks for the awesome interpretation. I'm having you gassing yourself up in science, bro. But yeah, I appreciate you all. And yeah, rest up. And check out our last events on Black and Mental Health Week. And y'all have a good one. Peace.